Welcome to our learning session for today using Zoom with Wirecast. So we will be doing a live demo on how to do this. I'm going to show you basically on shows with Wirecast, or if you're producing them like this one, it's often useful to bring in a guest, a remote guest. And unless they're sitting in the studio with you, then it can be difficult to make all of that work. So today, I'm going to show you how to bring it in. We've done it with Skype, and honestly, the process is very, very similar with Zoom. So we're going to give this a try, and I'm going to set it up for you guys. And then if you have questions, I can take questions. So I'm just going to go to my desktop here, and again, as with Skype, as with any of these video conferencing third-party softwares that you want to set up a call, some sort of back and forth video call with audio and video, you need to make sure you get the order right. Because if you open one video program before another, sometimes, and you're passing video signals from one to another, they don't always like that. They also don't like to be hot swapped. So sometimes, switching cameras or video or audio sources in the middle of a call is no bueno. So you may want to follow the correct order here. So what we're going to do, and I recommend, is you open Wirecast first. That's sort of the standard way, because the reason we do this is because we want Wirecast to actually be a video source in the call. So ideally, the caller will know when the live broadcast, when they're on camera on the live broadcast. So if they see themselves in the Skype call, they're going to see whatever's in the live broadcast area. They'll see what the audience is seeing. So this is what we would stream, this area, the live area. This is what goes out to YouTube, what goes out to Facebook, and everything there. So you also want a copy of it to go right into the Skype call. Because if they wait until they see it on YouTube or Facebook, you're going to get an 8, 10, 30-second delay. They would be on camera 30 seconds before they ever knew it or realized it. So you need more of a direct quick feed right into the Skype call or the Zoom call in this case, and so that they'll know the minute they're on camera or when they're off camera or when you're on camera. So that's what we do. And in the way we hand this signal off to those software programs is we use the output settings and use the virtual camera. So it's right under the output menu at the top. Go to the virtual camera, and I like to use the HD 720 size because that's sort of the largest, most Zoom. Like Zoom only does 720, it doesn't do 1080. Some Skypes, like TX, they do 1080, but 720 is a good place to start, and it's still HD, so hit start. That's all you need to do there. And we can basically see that it's working because now the CPU is running. We can tell that the virtual camera has started. Now, next, what I can do is, I think I have my camera hooked in. Let's add the HDMI video. Okay, there we go. So I've got my camera in there, and this, if I take it over to the live area, that is what our caller, who I'm calling, will see. Okay, so I'm going to take that over to that window. And I'm even going to just take off, so basically I don't have both preview windows up live. I'm just going to have that one. All right, next we're going to open Zoom. And my Mac Mini is going to be running all these feeds simultaneously. So if you have questions, I may need to get them they may need to be answered directly in the chat by Trevor or Deborah Lee, because I may have to close either the YouTube or the Facebook stream at the same time I'm doing Zoom. We'll see how my computer handles this. Okay, so next, once you've got that started, you're going to want to launch the Zoom meeting. So I'm going to head over to Zoom, and in this case, I'm going to start this meeting. So I've set up a meeting on Zoom. I'm going to start the meeting. That should open Zoom. Chrome is going to prompt me and say, are you cool with this? All right, so there's the Zoom control panel. And Zoom is free, I think, for like 45-minute calls. And there's Joe Yee right there. How's it going? All right, so she's seeing me on my webcam here. So I'm going to see if we can get my audio working as well. So we're going to do computer audio, join by computer. And then right here in Zoom, you're just going to want to choose your source. So in this case, I would like my source to be the C Media USB device. And then I'm also going to turn up my computer audio, so hopefully, Joe Yee, can you hear me? All right, she can hear me. And now I need to make sure I can hear her. Hold on. I'm going to bring up the speaker C media audio USB. This should be correct. Okay. Joey, can you hear me okay? You can hear me? Okay, cool. Well, for some reason, I'm not hearing you right now. I think it's because I have you routed through the board. Let me see if I do this right here. Let's pull that up.
My audio?
I can hear you now.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool. I just have my computer muted. Okay, so we have you coming in live. Thanks for helping me with this. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
And then, guys, you'll notice that it's picking up a second camera. If I want it to, it's just a USB webcam that I have sitting on the computer. But if I didn't have that plugged in and I want her to see, Joey, I want you to see when you're on camera, when you're not on camera, I would plug in the Wirecast virtual camera, just like we did with Skype when you helped me with that demo. So thanks for being my demo buddy.
Yeah, of course.
So we're going to add the Wirecast virtual camera as our video source in Skype. So all I'm doing here is switching from the USB webcam, which it automatically grabbed and detected, and I'm switching up to the Wirecast virtual camera. So we'll click that, and that should swap over. So now Joey can see me from the main camera right there. Okay, and that's what's in Wirecast. So now we're pretty much halfway home. The last thing we need to do here is we need to add the Zoom call as a source into Wirecast. Now, there's a couple ways we could do this. We could, either way, it's going to involve a screen capture because Zoom does not feed directly into Wirecast. So our best option is either we can screen capture just this Zoom window, which is on my screen right here, or I can full screen it. So if I have a 16:9 monitor, I can just capture the whole screen and just do a monitor screen capture in Wirecast. So Wirecast gives you a couple options there. And I think what I want to do, because I'm using this screen to actually show you guys Wirecast, I'm not going to full screen. But we could just do this, enter full screen mode, and you can see that Joey takes up the full screen. It's all 16:9. This is my entire monitor, and it's really easy. You just point, if you have two monitors, full screen the call on one of your monitors, and then just screen capture it, and it'll look great. And you'll bring it into Wirecast. Because I'm doing all this on the same screen, kind of so you can show you, I'm not going to use that full screen method. I'm just going to do the window capture. But Wirecast gives you both options. So it's up to you how you want to do it. Either way, you need to head into Wirecast and head into the screen capture method. So you're going to add a second source as a screen capture, again, and that'll pop up right up here at the top, this drop-down window. And again, you'll see right here the capture type. Wirecast is asking you, do you want to do a window or a monitor? And again, monitor would be for full screen. If you just full screen the call on a monitor that's right next to Wirecast. So you can have Wirecast on one monitor, you can have your full screen call on another. That's totally fine. In fact, I could do that with my other monitor here if I want. I can actually take Joey off. You won't see her here. Let's make this work maybe. Maybe we can do both here. Okay, so I've got her full screened on the second monitor, which you aren't seeing, but you'll see her in a second when I choose the right monitor. So let me go to select window or monitor. And I'm going to choose the Dell, which is my second screen. Okay, so you can see I've got the full screen right there. Hit OK. And I'm going to minimize that. Pull that to my lower left. Okay, so now Joey is coming in full screen from a screen capture. I'm going to take that live. And now, Joey, you can see yourself in the return call, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So now you know when you're on camera and you know when you're not. And so if I'm on camera, the audience sees me. If you're on camera, the audience sees you. And that way, right in your Zoom call, you get a preview before the audience even gets it, because if they're watching on Facebook or YouTube, they won't see what's happening for another 10, 30 seconds,
Right.
depending on the latency. But that way you'll know ahead of time and you'll know when it happens, whether or not you're supposed to not be picking your nose or something like that. Right? So that's pretty much it. The last thing is that her audio, and the Zoom call audio, how would you capture that audio? You'll want to, in your settings for the screen capture, head up to here in the source properties, and you'll see under the screen capture properties, you can choose whether or not to capture system audio. So this would be where you would capture the audio for the call into Wirecast, and you're going to want to uncheck the monitor. So that way you won't hear Joe Yi twice. Because if you're capturing the audio from Zoom, then she'll be talking and you'll hear it through Zoom or Skype through your headset. But then if Wirecast captures that, then plays that again, because it's also capturing that same audio, and plays it back out through this monitor, you'll start to get this terrible echo. So turn that off if you are doing the audio capture that way. All right, so that's pretty much it. You're going to do a screen capture. You're going to point it at the Zoom window, and then you'll bring that in as a shot into Wirecast, and then you capture the audio with it. And that's how you do it all on one system. We've had requests for how to do this with 2 separate computers, which I will cover in a future learning session, because that's a little trickier. You're going to need ins and outs going from one computer to the other. It's totally possible, and the advantage of it is that you aren't bogging down one system with all this. You can see the little Mac Mini here is super struggling right now. It's using 73% because all the stuff's happening at the same time on the same machine. And this is a little bit underpowered. It's just a dual core machine. So it's definitely not what I would choose to do this type of workflow. Using 2 separate machines can be a big advantage. All right, well, Joe Yi, thank you so much for helping me with this demo. Again, you were awesome. And do you want to say anything to everybody before you log off?
No, it seems pretty straightforward.
All right, well, thanks again. We'll see you later.
Sure, see ya.
So that is a quick demo on how to do it. Again, super simple. The principles are the same, whether it's Skype, whether it's Zoom. And if it's all on the same machine, you're going to want to do a screen capture. And again, order of operations matters. Start up Wirecast, start your virtual camera first, then open your application, your video conferencing application, and bring in the camera that way. So hopefully that made sense to you all, and we will cover how to do this with 2 separate computers in a future episode. That being said, there is going to be a lot more about conferencing and video calls, so we'll have a lot more information to share on all of that, and I'll be doing a lot more tutorials around this stuff. So stay tuned for future learning sessions as we continue to do that. And I think the next one, as I said, will probably be the next conferencing demo will be on that topic, on how to configure 2 machines. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week when we interview Luria from Live Streaming Pros, and we'll do another learning session, which at this moment escapes me which one we're doing, but I know we already have one planned. All right, we'll see you then.